Hey guys, Abraxas here, and I'm going to be playing some Space Engine. So, as you can tell, I'm back over here again from one of my previous episodes. You may have noticed I changed my avatar and banner on YouTube, and I have lens flare on, and that's kind of annoying. But I did that for the sake of that screenshot. I also have my level of detail up, so my frame rate is being consumed. So let's go ahead and turn that down. Let's turn that down a little bit more. And let's get rid of lens flare, because lens flare is just annoying. And let's turn the overbright down a little bit. There we go. Anyways, yeah, we don't have too many suggestions today, so I'm actually going to do something I haven't done in a while, and that is just explore some planets and stuff on my own. So that'll be pretty fun. So we have something from Pepsi Lemon, who totally missed me yesterday. Like, he suggested something right after I finished recording and stuff, and I was like, damn, well, I guess I can't visit that. Not until the next time I record, and he wants me to visit a galaxy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually postpone his suggestion until the end, and I'll actually explore the galaxy and find whatever planets I can. So let's start with Derp Sauce Gaming. He has a suggestion for me to go to WOHG641. So let's see. G64 right here, so let's go ahead and pay a visit to it. And it is a red supergiant. It wants me to visit the first planet next to it. Okay, so how big is this? 16 astronomical units. Let's go ahead and visit the planet next to it. And okay. This is almost a tidally locked planet. Look how close that is. Its rotational period is a second away from its solar day. It's not quite tidally locked, but we're talking like a second in value here. But we also have a very similar looking moon over here. That is a scorched desert, and this is a scorched desert, and I do believe that's the Milky Way there. And if I'm correct, this blue outline means we are in the Andromeda Galaxy. That or we're in the Large Magellanic Cloud. Actually, yeah, we might be in the Large Magellanic Cloud. Are we? Let's find out. Yeah, we're in the Large Magellanic Cloud. We're too close to the Milky Way. Okay. I think that was Andromeda there in the background anyways. Andromeda? Andromeda. Okay. So, anyways, we have these two deserts here, and I think they were pointed out because it might be a dual planetary system. Let's check the orbits and confirm this. Okay, so the orbits are showing that this is a dual planetary system, so very cool. I am not seeing any clouds here because it is not completely tidally locked, I guess, so it did not actually render the clouds. That or I have clouds turned off. Let's see. No, I do have clouds on. They're just not being shown because it's not technically tidally locked. But I think if these storms would appear in real life on a tidally locked planet, these would certainly have them. Unless they're actually are rotating, but they are rotating around each other. Let's check that. Okay, so they are actually rotating, so never mind. They're just rotating around each other, not the actual star itself, so very interesting. Anyways, cool little find. Let's see if we can pause the game here and find a nice view of that giant star. You can actually see, I don't know if you guys can actually see that in the video, but or on like kind of like a little dune texture here, but you could actually see the star there in the background very faintly. You can see like the bright areas of it, and if I come out of the atmosphere a little bit, you can see what I'm talking about. That's very cool. It's incredibly diffused in the atmosphere, but yeah, you can see the bright areas of the star. And let me fix my field of view here, and let's move on to the next suggestion. This next one is from Aussie R. I don't know if your name's Aussie or if you're talking about Australia, but let's go ahead and visit the suggestion he has. Oh, whoops, I forgot to put RS at the beginning. Bad copy paste. Okay, so here we go. Okay, so we have a rather greenish looking gas giant. And apparently it has a ton of moons. Okay, so I'm seeing asteroids immediately. Here is the... Okay, so if we zoom out here and keep zooming out here, yeah, we do have quite a few moons on this planet. Let's go ahead and visit the hot desert right next to it. So it's a little bit dim. You can see the parenting star right there. Let's go ahead and turn off the orbit map so we don't have these lines up in the sky. And there is our parenting gas giant. You could actually see the rings. The rings are actually kind of blacked out, but you could actually see like the moons that are like around the rings, so that's kind of cool. You can see like a line leading up from the rings of just different moons. It's a pretty awesome view. And you can actually see one of the moons right there, right next to us. Very awesome. So immediately, this is a hot desert, and we do actually have the desert rock texture with kind of an interesting mapping on it that I don't know. I guess doesn't really fit the striped texture of that. It looks like something that would go on like granite or something. Not exactly. I don't know what type of rock this would actually be. But we do have a lot of mountain ranges here, and a little volcano just chilling out here. Definitely active and properly generated. And this desert actually has a lot of mountains all over it, and there you can see the aurora effect, which is quite elevated from the actual planet itself. If I land here, you could actually see the aurora during the day, because the atmosphere is actually kind of thin. But pretty good view of the gas giant. You can actually see it, it's actually saturated a little bit. It's not just like completely taking on the blue from the atmosphere, so very cool. Let's check out one of the other moons. We have a temperate Oceania over here. Oh, and this is the moon that was sitting in the sky of that desert. Or one of the moons. Interesting. As you can tell, it's an Oceania. Nothing really more to see here. Big ball of water. Or something. Not water. That is certainly not water. Over here we have a cool desert. This is the moon I was seeing up in the sky from the other desert. And, yeah, these things are orbiting really close to each other. So let's land on the cool desert, which I don't understand why it's any cooler than the hot desert over there. Probably due to the atmosphere composition, potentially, but it's quite a bit colder. This one is not nearly as hilly. There's a few hills and a couple craters around here, and an active volcano. Nothing much more to see here. Essentially looks very similar to the other one, except it looks like it had some type of collision or something over here. And created this huge kind of salt lake or something. So, very interesting. Over here we have a disco world. Not too disco-y. Probably because it's nice and dim. No disco effects. Over here we have another ice world. This one's feeling a little bit more groovy, so definitely applaud this one for at least putting an effort in there. Ice world. Ice world. And ice world. Okay, so it has a lot of like ice worlds orbiting around it, as is pretty much expected. I mean, that's what you typically find orbiting around gas giants. So, very cool find. XD says I should play with the planetary editor and see if I can scramble the solar system around the sun. Like, yeah. I don't think that's really proper for this game. I don't think I'm actually going to do that. However, that would be something I could do in a Universe Sandbox 2 and would be much easier and probably make a better video. Because I'm not too good with the editor in this game. I mean, I'm sure I can figure it out, but I mean, whatever. I think that is all the suggestions, so let's go ahead and visit the galaxy that Pepsi Lemon wants me to visit. Okay, so here we go. It is a disk galaxy, yep, and very detailed. Really nice texture on it. But as I discovered, all these textures are actually inside of one of the files in the game. They're not actually randomly generated, so you'll actually find a lot of galaxies that look the same, I guess. They probably have different parameters, such as colors and stuff like that, and different mappings, but apart from that, I think all the galaxies are actually just based off like the same 20 or 30 textures, maybe. So let's go ahead and let's run a search. Let's find a Wolf-Rayet star. And I just opened like 30 things trying to do that. Star, here we go. Okay, I don't expect to find anything within 10 light years, but let's try 1,000 light years. Let's run a search. Didn't quite find anything. It says it found 4 systems. I wonder if I can do something to make it actually show that. Let's just search 5,000. Okay, now we have a little bit more results. Let's go ahead and visit this. Noticing most Wolf-Rayet stars are actually binary systems. If I close this, it should keep the search results there. So let's go ahead and get that out on the screen. And let's check out this Wolf-Rayet star. Ooh, I just zoomed past it. And if, as you can tell, these stars are very bright. In fact, it stays visible for quite a ways. And let's go ahead and fly towards it. Ooh, I always fly past them because their lens flare is just way too damn strong. I don't even know if I'm approaching it right now. I'm watching the distance go down. Yeah, when I double tap G, let's control double tap G. There we go. God damn it. I keep messing that up. That is entirely my fault. Okay, so the Wolf-Rayet star. I'm going to assume it's the one on the left, not the right. No, it's the one on the right. They're always orbiting a blue luminous supergiant. Am I correct? Blue main sequence star. Interesting. So this Wolf-Rayet star is incredibly bright. It does not have a plume around it. No type of, I guess you would say nebula. But, very interesting because, the Wolf-Rayet star in the Carina Nebula does have a plume around it, so I assume that was probably manually placed by the developer himself. So if I go ahead and visit here, it looks like we have a bunch of moons, mostly Selenas, and a couple scorched deserts. And if I go over to one of these deserts and land on it and try to look in the sky, I can't see anything because it's just too incredibly bright. That's insane. And I think I have real planet brightness on. Yeah, I do. So if I turn that off, it actually gets dimmer. So it pities me a little bit. Very interesting. Right. You were able to see that, right? There's like a little exposure effect because there's just too much brightness. I don't even have HDR or anything turned on. I see something here. What is this? No, what is this? A hot desert. Okay, not really too detailed, but if I land on it, I can actually see the star in the sky. In fact, it's actually 2 stars. Yep, Wolf-Rayet star is one in the back and has a bigger lens flare than the other one. Well, not too much bigger. It's actually kind of smaller, but it's more, I don't know, defined because the star itself is smaller. Very interesting. Let's reset the field of view and let's visit another one real quick. Actually, let's find one with life. None have life. Well, whatever. Let's go ahead and move on to the next one. Actually, I'm kind of curious. Can you actually find these not in a binary system? Or is the... I can't see anything. That's a blue main sequence star, and that's another Wolf-Rayet star. Do we have any planets orbiting around these? We certainly do, and they are quite hot. This one has a definitely red shift due to the heat. There is a lot of moons orbiting around it. Yeah, very interesting. I wonder if you can actually find Wolf-Rayet stars just sitting by themselves. Let's actually check that. No, I think all these are binary. No, wait. We have one. This is just a lone Wolf-Rayet star. Of course, it doesn't have any actual planets orbiting around it, though. Interesting. Let's check again and see if we could actually find something a little bit more unique. So there's another one sitting by itself. This one does have planets around it. Okay, so we have a scorched desert just sitting right next to it, glowing very bright, probably because it's reflecting a lot of light from its surface. And we have a lovely pink cloud layer, and this desert's rather flat. If we come around the back of the desert, is it actually heated up to the point where there is a temporal shift? Yes, it's certainly very, very hot in the back, as you can tell. I'm not seeing, though, as any tidally locked planets. Is this one tidally locked? Appear to be. Well, as you can tell, the tidal braking is actually causing these to be very, very close to tidally locked, though, if you look at the orbital and rotation periods over here on the side. Is this one tidally locked? No, it's not either. Very interesting. We have another scorched desert over here. This one has some glowing clouds, and it's actually being eclipsed by a moon right now. Very cool. Got kind of a red and blue going on, and since my screen is Chroma 420, this actually kind of looks horrible. Because I'm seeing like pixelated red here, and that is what happens when you buy a cheap 4K TV. Cool. I really like that eclipse just because it's actually going over the side of the planet, casting this huge shadow across it. Almost looks like Pac-Man or something. Okay, so let's go ahead and find something else. Let's just go ahead and click on a random star here. So we have a white main sequence star, and it looks like we have a Titan. Go to it faster. Go. Okay, so this Titan is mostly water, as is pretty typical of Titans. It looks like we have a huge crater right here, and what looks like a volcano. I assume this is a volcano. Yeah, that's a volcano, and it seems to be spewing out whipped cream. Kind of a pinkish look to it, a lot of rivers and stuff, and I assume these are a bunch of ice plains. As is, again, very common with Titans. Very cool. Nice, thick blue atmosphere. It looks very similar to our own atmosphere. And there's the Wolf-Rayet star. Actually not illuminating too bright. If I actually turn up the, wait, I have the differential spikes all, like, pretty high up. If I turn them up all the way, of course, it gets super bright, but, normally I keep this around 2. Very interesting. I didn't actually have that turned up at all, or I had that turned up higher, so that must be why they seemed so bright and so difficult to see. Even though I am well aware that Wolf-Rayet stars are incredibly bright. No, wait, this isn't a Wolf-Rayet star, this is a white main sequence star. Okay, I'm just dumb. Over here we have a warm gas giant with what looks like a pretty big moon over here. A warm desert, which is sitting pretty close to the parent star. And looks like we actually have some clouds here. So let's go ahead and touch down, and yeah, I actually really like the way those clouds look, apart from that huge Terra in them. Which I'm hoping I know it's comprised of a bunch of different textures and stuff, and the bump mapping kind of, like the bumping of these clouds is what kind of makes them Terra like that. They don't really line up properly. I'm hoping something is done about that, and they actually, or he actually gets that fixed and fixes that. That'd be very cool. So, I think we're in a, yeah, we're in a spiral galaxy, but it almost looks like one of those ring galaxies. But no, it's just apparently the way it's shaped. Apparently these clouds are not very dim, I guess. Which, let's go ahead and just fly through, and you can actually kind of go around the spirals here through the dust clouds. So let's go ahead and fly to the center here, and we should see a cluster. I think probably that cluster. Yes, that is the one in the center of the galaxy. And let's go ahead and zoom in, and we should be at the black hole. Hello. And here's the black hole in the center of this galaxy. Let's go ahead and hit play and watch it rotate. What just happened? The game crashed. Okay, so the game crashed. I guess this black hole just totally destroyed my poor little game here. Black screen. Loading in. Back, and I am apparently playing in 4K now because I took a screenshot here. So let me correct that. There we go. Much better. I really like this view. Just because I am in a huge cluster, so these stars are very bright. We got this river down here, and then we had like the sun glaring in the background, and yeah, I really like this view. This is a really nice view. I totally bookmarked that too. Okay, so hopefully in our history here it should still show yes. So we should be flying straight to the black hole. Here we go. Let's get this black hole load again. There we go. So we're back at this black hole. And I do still have lens flare on, so you can see like the, yeah, flare. And is there anything actually orbiting around this black hole? Looks like we have a bunch of stars, but nothing too interesting. Just a bunch of stars, no planets orbiting around them. So let's see if we can find something nearby. We got something right here, which I don't think is a part of the black hole. So one thing I actually saw, or was actually shown to me on the SpaceEngine Reddit yesterday, was some pretty cool effects done with black holes. I don't think I could actually see the black hole here, but let's go over to IC1101 real quick. IC1101 has that incredibly huge black hole that is just kind of impossibly large in this game. That basically lets it kind of be shown by the nearby planets, and here it comes. Okay, we are inside the black hole. Just zooming out like hundreds of times the speed of light. Not quite escaping it yet. There we go. So we have this impossibly large black hole, all great and stuff. And let's do this. Let's turn down my settings first of all, because I'm totally killing my frame rate. And my settings reset, of course. Okay, that should be good. And let's turn up our magnitude slightly. Not too much, because this galaxy really does eat your frame rate. And let's click on something that is just kind of nearby this star. So there's IC1101. I want to find a planet that is close to the star. Okay, there's a black hole orbiting that. This is one of the stars orbiting the... Okay, so we have a planet right here. Oh, that's a little bit too far. Oh, well, let's land on it. And looking towards a black hole, I'm just seeing kind of a interesting effect there. What I want to find is a planet that's sitting right in front of this black hole, and then I can zoom into it and it'll give me a pretty cool looking view. The problem is I have to find one that's not part of this black hole, because there's certain stars that are like a part of the black hole that do not actually have planets. So let's go ahead and land here, and let's check out the night sky. So that is our night sky. Not very dark, as you can tell. In fact, that'd be kind of cool if the black hole is actually illuminating onto this. But we have rings here. Let's put the rings in front of it and see what happens. Okay, so it's not bending the rings at all. Probably because that's just light that's being casted from here. And yeah, pretty cool view. But if I zoom in, no, I don't know how I got those views. Let me do this. Let me go to Reddit real quick. And I'll just bring up that image that I'm actually talking about. I forgot what it was. Ah, here it is. Ah, yes, there we go. Okay, so, yeah, screw it, I'll just screen record. There we go. So, he showed me this image. This is really awesome looking. Check that out. That is like a huge black hole just sitting in the night sky of this planet. Of course, that is a normal black hole with no accretion disk. He also showed me this one, which is, I can't zoom in any further than this, but, I don't even know how you do that. I guess you can place them by yourself. Like, that's a small black hole, a medium black hole, and then a large black hole in the background. If you actually place that yourself, I guess. But, yeah, that's a very cool sight. I don't know how you actually do that in the game. But, let me go ahead and move everything back here. Oh, I just made it full screen. And you can still, I'm still showing. Yeah, damn it. There we go. Kinda. No. No. Things are going horribly wrong. Settings. Settings, please. There we go. There we go. That's much better. Okay, so let's see. I can't seem to move in the game. Why am I not able to move? There we go. Much better. Okay. So yeah, I don't know how you actually get a view like that. Um, I guess I could just search for black holes and try to find a planet that's orbiting very close to one. Let's see if we can do that. So main system star. Um, I mean, I guess black hole. Parameters. I don't think I could actually set distance. No, I really can't. Let's find it. No, I'm not gonna limit it to that. Let's just see what we can find. So black holes in a 3,000 light year radius. Should be able to find some. Ah, there we go. Bunch of black holes. This one has some stars, so let's go ahead and visit that. Okay, so over here we have the black hole, and I think that's a brown dwarf. Yeah, we got a brown dwarf over here. Hello, brown dwarf. We got a planet over here. Brown dwarf, but I don't think any of these are actually near the black hole. Yeah, this black hole looks very simple too. It's not, I guess it's because of the kind of bright background that looks so weird. Of course, blue shifts as we get close to it. Let's mess with the magnitude a bit. Let's turn down the stars, and let's turn up the planets. That way, when I zoom out, I can actually see the planets in the sky. Of course, this is incredibly dim because of the brown dwarf, so let's find a different one. This one has 13 planets around it, so let's go ahead and visit it. Okay, so this one has an accretion disk. Okay. That is not exactly what I was hoping for, but this is the nearest planet to it. And it's actually pretty far away, as you can tell. And if I land on it, it's just a Selena. You can see the black hole there with its accretion disk. And we're completely horizontal to it, so it just looks like a line in the sky. Probably with light banding, but we have the stars turned off, so we can't see that anyways. So, nothing too interesting in this black hole. I want to find one that is very, very close to a planet that is very, very close to orbiting around the black hole. And where was that? That was Star Search. So here's one with 12 planets. Let's go to it. Okay, black hole, no accretion disk, and here's the nearest planet. Yeah, all these planets are pretty far away, so I don't know how you would actually do that. I assume the black hole's in that direction. I assume all these planets are super dim because I think the black hole's the only thing in the system. Oh, okay, it's that direction. That's the center of the galaxy over there. Very interesting. What I could do is I can click this planet. I can go to the editor, edit this planet, and change its... Where would be the orbital parameters? There we go. And change its semi-major axis to be very, very close. So let's go ahead and go back to the planet. Okay, so I don't even know what I'm looking at. You're a moon. Am I looking at the black hole? No. What am I looking at? I don't even know. Let's, where is it? Okay, so let's turn it down a little more. Update. I could F2. Black hole. There's a black hole. Maybe if I close this and turn back up the star thing. Okay, so let's land on this planet. And where is the black hole? Over there, apparently. Let's zoom into the black hole. This is actually a pretty small black hole, I think. That's what's going on. So, let's go back into the editor here. Is that the black hole? Wait a minute. Okay, so the black hole is really tiny. Check that out. I mean, it's totally breaking the game, but I mean, that's interesting. What is that? Is that the lines from the editor? So it's a really, really tiny black hole. Interesting. Okay, well, I think I'm done messing with that for now. Let's go ahead and go elsewhere. So I have a white giant here, and it has a beautiful, what looks like blue and purple planet. Beige color. And we have a lot of small little asteroid moons just kind of orbiting around it. Oh, very cool. I'm gonna have to probably edit out a lot of that black hole part. I spent like 10 minutes on that or something. Yeah, I'm probably gonna edit a lot of that out. Anyways, yeah, I'm not finding too many cool things around here. Let's go ahead and search for a Terra real quick. I don't really care what the parent star is. Let's just search for a warm Terra. Okay, so I'm back, and this time I actually saved all my settings. Yeah, the game crashed. And let's see if we can just find a Terra or something like that. I want to find a galactic cluster, because I think they look really cool when they're in a cluster. Is this a cluster? Oh, it's just a really bright star. Next to a black hole. Does a black hole have an accretion disk? That's not a black hole. Wait a minute. No, that's a neutron star. Hello, neutron star. You're almost a black hole. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to run a search and look for... Let's do 1,000 light years, and let's just find a nice Terra. So, here we go. Okay, so we got a bunch of things here. None with life that I can see. Let's go ahead and visit this. Okay, so is this our Terra? This is our Terra. It has some lovely rings. It's a little bit, it's got like an orange terrain to it. I don't think it has life. No, it does not. And it looks kind of deserty. Kind of a thin atmosphere, kind of a nice dark blue. And there's our rings in the sky. And you can actually see the stars. It's probably because I'm up in the mountains, though. If I lower myself. Yeah, it's kind of a thinnish atmosphere, but I mean, it looks very Earth-like, and that's pretty cool. We got the dry desert texture going on with some very, very large mountains. Kind of low-lying cloud layer. Yeah, that's what would be expected with a thin atmosphere. But let's see what else we found. So let's go ahead and filter by life and see if we can find a Terra with life. Let's just stop that search. Okay, let's go over here. Okay, so we have a temperate Terra. Oh, pretty nice looking. We got like some snow caps and aurora going on, so let's land here. Okay, the snow looks kind of weird. Let's land over here instead. And I don't think I can actually see the aurora. Where was that aurora? It's kind of on the edges over here, so let's land next to this volcano. And you can very faintly, I think, yeah, you can see the aurora over there in the background. So if I hit play, you can actually watch it move around. Very cool looking. But it said there was life, so around this star, I guess, we have what looks like another Terra. This one has life. There. So let's go ahead and zoom in and see what we can find. Okay, so it looks like we have like kind of a grass texture going on. It might be that same texture I mentioned yesterday. Someone did say that certain type of plant that's in like a cold-ish biome area, like you'd find it in the cold and stuff. But the thing about that is you find kind of obscure textures everywhere. You'll find like different things generated on different planets and stuff. I think it's entirely randomized, to be honest. I don't think it's actually in any way generated with any form of like I don't know, temperature to define what actually generates there. I don't know what that is. That looks like that root texture. It does not look like the typical grass texture that I normally see. But I've opened up the texture file to see what all the plant life and stuff look like. Because I was thinking about like sitting there with Photoshop and making my own, but yeah, there's not a huge selection. There's probably like 20 or so. It looks like pretty much ripped from satellite texture. Like you go to Google Maps and just kind of look at like top of a forest or something and just kind of cut that out and just throw it in your game, whatever kind of thing. Which I mean is perfectly acceptable, but yeah. That's how I think that actually works in this game. And as you can tell, we actually do have multiple layers of clouds because these are actually passing over each other. Yeah, we have two different cloud layers here. So that makes that cloud movement actually look very natural and very cool looking. So, cool little planet. Let's see if we can find a different one. So we have 3 with life over here. And what is that? Oh, it's a frozen ice world. Hello, frozen ice world. Okay, so immediately we have a Titan with life. Have not seen this in a while. And it is still rotating because I do have... Okay, we actually have a very cool looking ring system here. 4 separate bands with kind of a small little band right here. So let's go ahead and land here. It looks like we might have a very thick cloud layer. Okay, so we have a nice purple atmosphere. Is this the night sky? I don't think this is even the night sky. No, it's not. It looks like we have a purple cloud layer or something. Oh no, it's underwater. Okay. It's still a kind of purplish atmosphere though. Green clouds. Let's see if we can find some land somewhere. Because it is a Titan, there's going to be a lot of like liquid ocean. Maybe this is land? No, it's not land. This is kind of reminding me of like Venus's atmosphere. I'm going to have a hard time finding land on this just because there's so much water in the cloud layer. So, oh wait, I could just disable the clouds. Okay, so it looks like we have some purple terrain here. Let's go ahead and turn the clouds back on. Okay, so we have something going on here. The texture's a little bit weird looking, but let's zoom out. And I assume this is our life. Kind of a bluish color with a purple atmosphere. So it gives it kind of nice purplish blue. Interesting looking. It says it is marine and terrestrial, so we have underwater and this. Over here we do have a gas giant with life, but I don't think, yeah, it's just a gas giant itself, aerial life. So nothing too special going on there. Let me pause the game so that things stop moving on me. And let's go ahead and pay a visit to the other star over here. And here we go, we have a Terra with life. This is a pretty cool find if you want to visit it. The ID's in the corner, but I think we're going to have a nice blue atmosphere. The ESI is 88%, so very similar to Earth, and this looks like the more traditional grass texture that I'm used to seeing. So, very Earth-like looking atmosphere. Pretty cool. Cloud layers are pretty high up here, not too low. And let's see if we can find some different kind of terrain, something like these mountains over here. Okay, so we have some nice eroded mountains. Looks like water's been flowing down them. Nice and smooth out. This. It looks like trees that would be in a desert or something. Like the treetops of like a savanna or something like that. Cool looking planet. Definitely very Earth-like, I would say. Except the atmospheric composition says otherwise. The temperature of this planet is 21 degrees, so again, actually very Earth-like. And yeah, pretty cool planet. So if you want like a generic kind of Earth-looking planet, this is certainly one of them. And what do we got over here? We have like a huge mountain range with a couple little snow caps. And what looks like actually that root texture right there on top of the mountains. Very interesting. So, pretty cool. Special like that. If we come over here to where the sun is setting, though, the sunset's actually a little bit more blue looking than it is on Earth. Let's go over to where it's like actually setting. Yeah, it's not a very orange sunset. It's actually kind of bluish from what I can tell. Oh no, it actually does get a little bit of red going on, but not a lot. Where the sun actually is, it actually stays kind of bluish. So it doesn't get like that red that Earth does, for example. Which kind of probably defines its differences in atmospheric composition. And if you look around in the sky, it actually has a kind of greenish tint to it. But nonetheless, very cool. Okay, so we have a cool desert with life right here. Okay, so this is looking pretty cool. Really detailed. Let's go ahead and land on this. Okay, so that is very weird looking. I've never seen hills generate like this before. Contrast color, we got like the purple life on it, but we got the desert texture with like kind of a blue tint to it. And that is making for some very, very weird looking hills. Seems to be exclusive to the mountains, though. There's the grass texture, but this time it's purple, so purple grass. What is this? Is this a snow cap? That might be snow. It's a pretty cold planet, so I wouldn't be shocked. Yeah, it's definitely like a snow ice sheet texture. And we just have a huge kind of lake of snow. Huge snow plain. Incredibly large snow plain. Okay. Just has a volcano just sitting in the center of it. Kind of frozen. Not active, it doesn't look like. That might be active. What is that? Sour cream? Not too sure. But what is that we got in the sky over there? A warm Oceania with life. So we have two planets with life. I think they might actually be a dual planetary system, both having life. But two incredibly contrast. Yeah, it is a dual planetary system. Both with life, but they're two completely different type of planets. And somebody is taking off in their car right now. Well, nonetheless, I've been recording for a while now, so if you guys like the video, please leave it a like, and if you want to see more videos like this, please do subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. Oh yeah, and I hope you guys like what I'm doing with the channel. I changed the banner and my avatar and stuff, and I don't know why I did it, I was just kind of compelled to do it, but yeah. Anyways, like I said, if you guys like the video, leave it a like. If you want to see more videos like this, please do subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. That is a lot of water.